Hello and welcome to another Ginger Mathematician video. So today I am predicting the A-level Maths Paper 1 for Cambridge, and these predictions are for the exams on the 7th of February and the 2nd of May 2024. I've gone through the last 17 papers, so I've updated it with our recent information to give you the very best predictions for the exam. So the first thing is transformations of graphs dropped slightly here at 71%, so now goes into my often category, but as you can see appears almost 3/4 of the time. Here's a good example question, so you need to know how to work with stretches, with translations, and then being able to sketch functions and work backwards through that as well. On to functions at 76%, so just gets into my almost certain category. Again, a very classic exam question here that you would need to work through to understand this topic. If you want to practice this topic, then do check out the video above. And our next topic here is a no change topic, binomial expansion, so still just about falls into the almost certain category. And these questions can vary. Sometimes it stages it through as you go through, or they just give you a problem to work out and give you a lot of marks in order to get to the answer. Make sure you stay until the end of the video because I've made a very interesting observation about the very recent papers that you need to be aware of for the top grades. On to radian measure here, again no change at 100%, so just about falls into the certain category. And I see a very typical exam question here, one that I actually go through in the video above where I go through all of radian measure. Equations of circles also at no change at 106%. What I have noticed is it's usually towards the end of the paper, so that's one thing to be aware of here. So if you're looking for those top grades, this is a topic really make sure you focus on, and happy with the quadratics and can arise out of this topic. Sequence and series again is 118%. I think it's a slight drop here, but again always a very, very important topic. Again, make sure you know your sum to infinity, sum of a specific number of terms. Working with geometric and arithmetic, you'll be expected to do both on the paper. Trig identities and equations at 129%, a slight drop, but still more than in the certain category. This is quite a straightforward question that you can work through, but there can be quite tricky questions towards the end as well. It does vary from paper to paper. Quadratics, I already mentioned this topic. The reason it's so high here, 141%, it's often embedded in other questions. So for example, this question here, question 2a, it starts with a little bit of completing the square, but then goes into functions, so domain and range, working with those composite functions, things like this. So just be aware quadratics may not be a specific question, but be embedded in other questions. On to the biggies, the big two, which is integration. First of all, no change at 171%. Again, they can vary, and if you check out the integration video above, I go through the two main kinds of questions. This is one of them where they give you a derivative and you have to work out the equation of the curve. The second kind of question is they give you some kind of area between curves or lines or a mixture of, and you have to work out that particular area. And differentiation, again, its twin here is at 176%, always the most important topic on the paper one. As you can see, they could embed it in other questions, so working out minimum points, maximum points, points of inflection, things like this. But then they could also ask you to take a function and then derive it, for example. So you get lots of different kinds of questions with this particular topic. And here are the frequencies, so if you want to go through these at your own leisure, you can see how I've worked these out. Again, these come from the last 17 papers that we have access to. And my little observation I mentioned earlier is this, which is connected rates of change. One thing I've noticed on the very recent papers, you can see it's slightly creeping up here at 23%. They are putting more of these questions in, and I think that's really to try and test those B grade and A grade students exactly. Are you a B grade student? Are you an A grade student? And this kind of topic is one of those that could tip you into the higher category. And if you need a revision of everything you need to know of A-level maths paper 1, then check out the video right in front of you because I go through about 2 hours of the real important topics you need to know to succeed on this paper.